Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel of Government Loya College Churu. I am Dr. Sunita Meena, Assistant Professor English. Today we are going to discuss fourth chapter of the Poetics. Earlier we have studied three chapters. Now the fourth chapter. In this chapter, Aristotle highlights the emergence of tragedy and comedy and the development of tragedy. Aristotle says that poetry in general seems to have originated from two causes, each of which lies deep in human nature. First is the instinct of imitation. Man is the most imitative of living creatures, and he also finds pleasure in witnessing the imitation of objects. The second is the instinct for harmony and rhythm, meters being employed for the purpose of appealing to the human instinct of rhythm. It was this combination of the instinct of imitation and the instinct for harmony and rhythm which led to the emergence of poetry. Aristotle states that in due course, poetry diverged in two directions according to the individual character of the writers. The more serious types of writers imitated noble actions and the actions of good men. The more trivial sort of writers, on the other hand, imitated the actions of meaner persons, at first composing personal satires or lampoons. Homer is preeminent among poets because he alone combined dramatic form with the excellence of imitation. But Homer is also preeminent in so far as he was the first to lay down the main lines of comedy by dramatizing the ludicrous instead of writing personal satires. His Margites is among the earliest attempts at comedy proper. When tragedy and comedy took definite shapes, the two types of poets still followed their natural inclinations. The lampooners or satirists became writers of comedy, while the epic poets were succeeded by writers of tragedy because the drama was a larger and higher form of art. Next, Aristotle talks about the development of tragedy. Tragedy advanced by slow degrees. Each new element which showed itself was in turn developed. Aeschylus was the first to introduce a second character. He thus diminished the importance of the chorus and assigned the leading part in drama to the dialogue. Sophocles raised the number of actors to 3 and he also added scene painting. One dialogue had entered the drama. Nature herself discovered the appropriate measure. This was the iambic measure, which is of all measures the most colloquial. In this way, tragedy developed. In the fourth chapter, Aristotle talks about comedy. He states that comedy is an imitation of characters of a lower type. However, the word lower here is not to be interpreted as bad. Lower characters are those who have something ludicrous, something humorous about them. Such characters may suffer from some defect or some kind of ugliness, which, however, is not painful or destructive. Aristotle further states that epic poetry resembles tragedy insofar as it is also an imitation in verse of characters of a higher type. But epic poetry differs from tragedy insofar as the epic is narrative in form and is written in only one kind of meter, while tragedy presents the action and the characters directly to us by putting them on the stage. It, it also employs various meters. Epic poetry and tragedy also differ in their length. Tragedy tries as far as possible to limit itself to a single revolution of the sun or to a little more than that, while the action in an epic poem may extend over a very long period of time without observing any specific limits. So far as the constituent parts of the two forms of poetry are concerned, some are common to both, while some are peculiar only to tragedy. All the elements of an epic poem are found in tragedy, but all the elements of tragedy are not found in an epic poem.